and he's singing this, and and then they show scenes of people shaving their head because they have cancer. Like, have you ever written a song that deals with like social issues? Like you have certain social issues that matter to you?
Yeah, I recently wrote a song about Alzheimer's.
Hello, we have another podcast, wonderful podcast today because we have a wonderful lady. You would not believe the limitless power of her voice. Um, Her name is Lisa Harmony. It's interesting. It's like Lisa Harmony, but Lisa Harmony, and it's very clever name. And she's 19. She loves music, and she started playing the piano and singing when she was 8, and hasn't stopped since. So let's bring her up, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa Harmony. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
Hi. Hello.
So, before we begin, can you give us a little bit of a backstory of who you are?
So my name is Lisa. I'm 19, and I started playing the piano and singing when I was 8, as you said. And a few years later, I started my YouTube channel, and I started playing the guitar and writing my songs and uploading covers on YouTube. And now here I am. I'm still writing and posting covers on YouTube, and I still love it.
I love it. Yeah. Let's give everyone an idea of your voice. So let's start this video.
All the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough. Never be enough. Towers of gold are still tooted on this head. Set off a dream in me, giving aloud. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Oh, 'cause I need you to see. If I could turn back the clock,
Thank you. I'm glad you like
So
it.
I loved it. So this is excellent. So let's begin. So start from the beginning. You said you were starting that you were singing since you were 8. Now, how did that start? Why is it singing? Why isn't like I want to be an astronaut or I want to be an archaeologist? Why is it I'm going to be a singer?
So when I was, I used to go to my grandparents' house a lot, and I still do. And they have a piano, and every time I walked into the living room, I saw the piano, and I was always going and touching it, but I obviously didn't know how to play. And so I went to my village, my small school in my village, and they also had singing classes, and so I ended up taking both and loving the piano and singing, and that's how it started.
Yeah, and so when you weren't like running around the house playing a recorder and making that noise with your parents. Well, just why don't you start singing or something? So what ever made you want to just to come up? How did you end up with the YouTube channel?
I really wanted to share my songs. I I was singing a lot in the bedroom and playing the piano and everything, but I wanted to share it because music is meant to be shared, I think, and that's why I really wanted to share on YouTube and have also memories of when I started and how I started, just to remember why I started and see an evolution through the years.
Yeah. Um, you just add on a video every so often. How often do you post?
I post once a week. I try to.
Is just one video a week?
Yeah, one a week. At the moment, it's one a week, maybe more in the
Wow, that's
future.
excellent. Yeah, you're really good. So, did you play any instruments in high school?
No, I was playing the piano throughout high school, but I wasn't learning in high school. I started playing the guitar when I was in high school. I started watching videos on YouTube and learning the instrument by myself, and now I can play. I don't know. I'm not a professional player, but I still love playing the guitar.
But learning to play the guitar and the piano, was it the piano you were learning to play on YouTube as well?
No, the piano. I was going to school. I learned in my village school.
Yeah, maybe I should check out some of the YouTube videos on how to play certain instruments because I want to play the violin, right? Maybe the YouTube can show me how to do that. So what
Oh, probably.
accomplishments do you find yourself in the next few years? Do you want to be a professional singer or just do what you love, or did you want to perform in real life on a venue, like on the stage, or is
Oh yes,
just
I love to. Yeah,
yeah?
I've played. I've done many championships, singing championships. So I sang on stage, and I really loved it. It was amazing having this real connection because posting videos on YouTube is great. You don't have that connection live, that live feeling of sharing and seeing people's emotions. So yeah, I really miss going on stage with COVID. Right now, it's a little bit disturbed, but I hope it's really going to come back to normal soon. And yeah, going on stage is something I really love, and maybe posting my own songs on YouTube soon. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
What about nervousness? How do you feel when you're uploading a video to YouTube, knowing that any moment that would be the one that would just suddenly explode? That people are going to be sending you comments, and eventually they're going to contact you, and you're going to get you to do something. That this has happened. So, do you have that in mind when you post a video that you're going to get it's going to explode with views, or like how would you be if they said, okay, Lisa, we want you to stand up in front of this stage in front of 800 people and sing this song? Could you do it?
Oh yeah, I'd be excited at first, like so happy, not nervous. But when it will come to the day, like maybe an hour before, I'd be really freaking out. But I will love it. I'll be so excited. If someone asks me that, I'll be really excited.
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of singing actually on stages too, and there's one here called the Living Arts Center, and I walked in, and there's all this crowd around. I said, "Are these people here for us?" I was wearing my suit and everything. I walk in, it's over 300 people, and I thought, I can't sing in front of 300 people. I can only sing in front of 80 at the max. And then so everyone who was there to perform, apparently the people that were in there, the 300 people that were there, were family members to see whoever was up to see their loved one. So apparently when it got to my turn, out of 300, there were like 90 people left or so. And I'm like, okay. So it was a little bit more easier to stand up there and sing and perform. And I love it. I can't wait to do it again. What kind of hobbies do you have outside of music? Do you do anything else besides play the piano and guitar and upload to YouTube? Is there anything else you do that's non-musical?
Yeah, I really like running and reading as well. I like I like these things.
Reading? What are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Lux. It's a story. It's written by Jennifer Larman-Trout, and she has a really good writing style, and it's kind of a fantasy world with aliens and stuff like that. I don't know. I fell into it, and now I'm reading it.
Yeah,
So
that's excellent. Well, what do you find? What do you find are the? Let's start with the strengths that you have to become a good musician, and what kind of weaknesses you have. You say that we don't have weaknesses; we can turn our weaknesses into strengths. So, tell us what your strengths are that make a good musician.
so maybe my strength would be that how I see the world, maybe, because when I write my music, it gets really unique and personal because I'm the only one seeing the world that way and telling it this way. So I guess that's kind of my strength and everybody's strength, by the way, because anyone who's a songwriter will see the world a certain way and tell it a certain way through their songs. So I guess that's my strength. My weakness would maybe be overthinking sometimes and being worried of anything. Like sometimes I'm worried of not being able to write anymore, stuff like that, which is silly, but I guess everybody overthinks as well. So that's kind of, and maybe nervousness as well. Before going on stage, sometimes being so nervous, feeling like I'm gonna forget all the lyrics before I start opening my mouth. So yeah, I guess these would be my strengths and weaknesses. Yeah.
That's an excellent story. I got one to tell you. When I first started singing at my church, or actually it wasn't my church, this girl I know who she was a music teacher. Um, One of her, I don't know what you call them, performers was ill, and these were children like 14, 13. I think the youngest was 8. And then I was like 30, and she said, "Can you perform?" And I'm like, here I am sitting amongst all these children. I'm like, okay, 30-year-old sitting amongst all these children, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed right now. So there was a song that I learned for the whole week. I learned the first stanza, I learned the second stanza. I knew the song. I've sung it just when I'm at home or whatever. So suddenly I started singing it. My hands shaking like this because I got the microphone in my hand, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is that second stanza? So I had to think fast. So I just sang the first lyrics again. Now, when everyone said, "Oh, that's great, you're great," and all this, all this, you should really perform in front of president or something. I don't know if they said that. And instead of saying, "Well, thank you very much," and leaving, I said, "Yeah, I know, but I forgot the second, and I substitute." I told him, I think, "Chris, shut up, don't tell him that." But yeah, I see what you mean. So, how do you deal with your nervousness? Like even not performing, I like when I'm nervous, whatever I would either sing or I would. But when I'm performing, like, how would you deal with nervousness?
Yeah, so right before going on stage, I pace back and forth. I know the backstage by heart, and I sing a song called "Nervous" by Shawn Mendes, and it really, yeah, it makes my voice heat up before going on stage so that I'm ready, because it's really high, and I sing it higher and higher and higher, and so my voice gets ready to go on stage, and it makes me feel better. But it's funny that the song is called "Nervous," but it's pretty great.
That's excellent. Now, do you know how can you separate Lisa the person from Lisa the musician, or do you live and breathe LISARMONY?
Yeah, I'm both. I don't play a character because in my songs I'm fully myself, and I don't play a character, so I don't
That's
separate.
excellent. Now, when you talk to people, do you sing it? It said, "How are you? Let's go to lunch."
No, I don't sing it. No, but I separate both. Like, no, I don't. I mean, I'm not playing a character when I'm being Disharmony. I'm being myself. It's just a name I use on stage and an artist name to really represent my art. But I'm the same person. I don't play a game.
How did you come up with that name, LISARMONY?
Oh, I spent a lot of time thinking with my mom, and we ended up with this idea because I really love harmonies in a song when several voices are put together, and like it is a beautiful thing. And I've always loved the harmonies, and so that's when I came up with lead harmony with my mom. I wasn't the only one. We were both thinking about that.
Um,
Thank you.
so, tell me, what is that's? Thank you very much for that answer. So, what is your favorite instrument to play and like?
Oh, that's a hard question. I guess I would say the piano, maybe because I've played longer and I'm more confident playing it. So whenever I have an idea in my mind and I want to play, I go to the piano firsthand because it's the instrument I play the best. I've known most of my life, but I really like the guitar. But I'd say maybe the piano.
Well, there is a gentleman that we had on a podcast 4 months ago, actually, and he came up with templates. And if you wanted to play a song, you put the template in front of the keys. Like, for instance, you wanted to play a Bach, you put the Bach tune there, and you can play it. It's really amazing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
But yeah, apart from that, I don't know how to play the piano. But I've seen like Billy Joel and Elton John. They just like, and all these concert pianists that just go like this with their fingers. And like my friend used to be a concert pianist, and it's sort of like you walk around with your hands are like this because you just finished a concerto and you're shaking like this, and wow, it's amazing. Do your hands go like this when you finished your?
No, never.
Wow. Okay, so and what is it about music that makes you so passionate?
I guess it's the power it has to convey messages and emotions and really bond with the people who would listen and yourself. Like when I write something, I know I will get to feelings that like were either sad or happy, and it helps me to process them. And without writing, I wouldn't be able to do that. And also, the person who would listen to the song, they would also maybe feel it because they felt the feeling before, they've had the same situation. So that's really the possibility of ponding and the power of conveying messages.
Wow, write something. So you've actually written your own songs.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I love it.
Do you write with the piano or the guitar, or try to make the song have both instruments? Or do you have
I
to get someone to, I need drums for this one, I need an oboe for this, or trumpet for this, or you just say, I'm going to write a song, it's piano, guitar, let's do it. Is that how you do that?
It depends what instrument I have with me when I start writing. So, for example, if I write a song on guitar, sometimes it can go well with the piano as well. But sometimes when I write a song just on the guitar, I know it's a song that will not be good with the piano. So it really depends. But when I write, it depends on the instrument I have with me. If it's a piano, then the song will be on piano, and then that'll be it.
That sounds very interesting. So tell me what the process of your writing is. Like, how would you go about? Do you write the music first, and then you put lyrics to it? Or you write the lyrics and then you try to put music to it? How does it work for you?
So it really is different every time. There's no That's also what I like because it's never the same process. So sometimes I can have a melody coming up in my brain and I will just go with it and just then go to the piano and write in the instrument and the lyrics. Sometimes I can just have lyrics and I will write the melody with it. And sometimes, yeah, no, that's it. But yeah, it's really going with the feelings, with what comes to me, with the inspiration I have, and then I will either start playing the melody and the lyrics, or just start writing the lyrics and then adding the melody. But I never write the melody first. I always have lyrics.
I've actually asked some musicians, and basically it's almost the same, but especially for a rapper, they would write the lyrics first, or like lyrical poetry, and then they try to put music to it. But it is quite a writing process. I wrote 4 songs with one of my friends, Bill. He played the acoustic guitar. This is years ago, and I just told him to play with a like a technique, play with a rhythm, play let's a strum. I said I like that one. Let's put something to that one. And and being kids or whatever, we just ended up. It's all these songs had to do with makeup and breakup and stuff like that. But there was one that I took part of like part of the Bible, and I put music to it myself. And I like writing poetry, like sonnets, and I try to make sure that because sonnets actually rhyme at the end,
Hmm.
and putting music to that, I'm like, okay, that'd be interesting. Now, tell us, what's your favorite part about being a musician? Is it playing the piano, playing the guitar, knowing that whatever you're doing, that you can't wait to get back in the studio, you can't wait to get through that writing process. You can't wait to take those lyrics and write the music. So, what's your favorite part of it? And can't say sleeping, but
My favorite part is the writing process. It's how I get an idea and then I see it come alive whenever I go to the piano and start writing the lyrics, and then the end of the song, like when it's finished, when I play it one last time and I'm like, oh wow, that hit something. And what I really love is sometimes I write songs and I make myself cry because of the song, because it makes me really emotional what I wrote. So really like it's pretty rare, and it happened once or twice, and every time it hits the chords in me. It's like, wow, I know that if I sing this song to someone, I hope they cry. In a good way, not a bad way, but like I hope I struck a chord in them too, and you make them feel something.
hope they cry. That's interesting. Do you suppose that Christina Aguilera was crying while she wrote her song "Hurt"? That I think is based on her father. I think. I mean,
Maybe when the
like
feeling is strong, like you get emotional sometimes.
if you heard the song, it is very emotional, but um, I don't know very many songs that will make me cry, but I have literally seen a lot of movies, dramatic movies, where some of the scenes might make me cry, whatever. But people say, like on Facebook or whatever, they say what, or on Twitter even, what song makes you cry? And I'm reading through and I'm thinking, really? Or that doesn't make me cry. That makes me want to turn it off and not listen to it, you know. And when I first heard "Hurt" by Christina Aguilera, I cried because of video. I don't know if you ever seen the video, but that made me cry. And but now when I hear the song, it's a song that I actually want to do like my own cover version and post it on my channel. But it's like there's so many songs out there, and like yours are very emotional. I can see how much passion you put into them, and your writing process seems to be, you know, spot on. But how did what do? You wake up in the morning and say, "Eureka! I got a song," and then you just write it out? How does it work for you?
It really, like, it's whenever my brain is on pause. I mean, when I'm on the road or when I'm taking a walk or I don't have anything to think about, I don't know, it just comes to me. I'm not, sometimes I can wake up in the morning and like stay in bed for 5 minutes and have an idea strike, but it's usually during the day and then I just go with it.
That's interesting. Well, basically, I think for me, like because I don't, the only instrument. Well, you say you only play two instruments. You play three because the voice is considered an instrument as
Yeah.
well, and I think it's a stringed instrument. And also, basically, I'd be singing, and I'm like, this has got to be a song that I heard already. Like, are you? What if you write a song and it's a song that you heard maybe in subconscious, and then when you try to maybe release it, you try to play it, people say, I know that song. That's Dua Lipa or something. You know, like that song "Levitating," which is a pretty good song. It's actually she's I don't want to say stole, but there's two or three other musicians that use the same melody.
Okay.
So how do you know that the song you wrote is your song, LISARMONY's song, and not like song you heard from Glass Tiger and you just happened to? Because subconscious is really powerful.
Well, I never know, but I know that whenever I finish writing a song, I've just put my heart in it. So in the end, it feels like my song. But even if maybe I wrote a song that someone already wrote, and maybe one day I'll see it, and then I won't release this song. Um, but I know that the song that I would have written would have my lyrics, and this I haven't stolen from anyone.
Release a song. So you're thinking of releasing one on Spotify and all the major like music? Yeah, really?
I'm thinking of it. Yeah, I'm thinking of it.
Have you
Just I'm
chosen,
sorry.
have you chosen one that you want to release?
Yeah, I have chosen one. Yeah.
Excellent. That's good. Once you release a song on Spotify and iTunes and all those other music like SoundCloud and everything, I think you've arrived because then you can say, "You're a musician, yeah? I'm on Spotify." I said, "You're a musician, you want the autograph? How are you going to sign Lisa Harmony?"
I don't know. I know my friends would listen to the songs and my family, and so that's already great.
Yeah. Yeah. So who's your biggest inspiration? Like is it a female artist? Is it a male artist? Is it soprano? Who is it? Who's your favorite current?
I have two, Taylor Swift and Shawn Mendes.
You like Shawn Mendes?
Oh yeah, because he's really true in what he writes. He doesn't lie. He's really open. Like his last songs, "It'll Be Okay" and "Hold On" are both really intimate songs, and he's really truthful in them. And I really like this in an artist.
Yeah, I'm not really into Shawn Mendes or I like that song by Louis Capaldi, and he's got that song that has really nice tune to it. I like that one. Like I'd rather listen to Elton John or Billy Joel or maybe I like Taylor Swift. Um, but your music definitely emotional and passionate, and I think you're going to do well. Lisa Harmony is actually should be a moniker, should be patented. Yeah, I love your creative process. You're so passionate about writing new music. Um, Can you tell us how many songs you've written so far?
Oh, I have around 60.
16 songs?
60, yeah.
60, like 60.
Yeah.
Or six. What? We're releasing 3 albums. What are you doing?
Maybe start with one song and see how it goes.
That's true. What? So who? Okay, so you like Taylor Swift and you like Shawn Mendes. Is there any of the old artists that you like Elton John, Billy Joel, or?
For all songs, I have French references the most because I'm French, so I have a lot of French references. And I really like Edith Piaf, or there was another one, Charles Aznavour. I really like him as well. I don't know if he sung La Bohème.
There's a song that he wrote called "She," and
Mm.
remember that song? Yeah, it was actually one that Elvis Costello actually used for the movie Notting Hill. Sorry, can you pronounce his name in French again?
Aznavour.
Aznavour.
Yeah.
I checked his music, and his his version is actually a little bit better. Um, and also Celine Dion is French, so I like.
Oh yeah, I really like her as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. We have a Canadian singer, and his name's Corey Hart. He's from the '80s. He sang that song, "Wear My Sunglasses at Night." But he's also he married a French artist by the name of Julie Masse, and she's French, and they have a cover. He has a cover in La Ba, and when I saw that you sang the cover version of La Ba, I'm like, she's saying La Ba. And another one I like, another French song I like, is called "Je Repars" with Marie Mai, which is a really good French singer. You should check that out. Check out David Usher and Marie Mai in the song "Je Repars." Je Repars. That's the only. That's one of the 2 French songs I sing, and it's hard to get the phonetics of that. You have to get it right, and so it's not like faire les mesures. It's like no. That's you gotta be proper. Don't like and Le Ba, like I have sung Le Ba, and then we have like. Are you Paris or no? You're currently in. I
I'm in
think
the south.
yes, you're in the
I live
south.
there.
Yeah. So your French is a lot different than our Montreal Canadian French.
Yeah.
Um, and we have a song called "Viva la Canadienne," Vol mon cœur, and I've been singing that one. So yeah, I've sing a few French songs, but I'm not someone that can just stand up and say, "Can you take a Louis Capaldi song and can you translate and sing it in French?" I'm like, okay, give me about a year. So who's your favorite musician, LISARMONY, that you would love to collaborate with?
Taylor Swift. Yeah, without hesitation. I would love
Taylor?
to.
Right now.
That'd be a dream. That'd be a dream come true.
She's very nice, actually. I know there was a fan of hers that invited her to her birthday, and she showed up. So she's very nice. That's why I like her.
I
It's
should
not
try
like-
that.
You never know. As long as you say that, you're her. I don't know if she wants to hear that I'm your greatest fan because she probably hears that a lot.
Yeah.
So that's great. So can you describe your venue, the greatest venue that you want to perform at?
I'd love to maybe I'd love it to be in my hometown or near where I live so that my friends and my family could all come and just play all my songs and have like choreographies and do a real show, not just me with the piano or guitar and singing. Do like a real show with people dancing and the whole thing. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be good.
it's interesting how you played Great Big Sea song, Say Something. You started with the piano and then you played the guitar. It was like hello, hello, hello. So yeah, that's excellent. So is Taylor Swift the only one that you want to be collaborating with?
I love to Lewis Capaldi as well. I
Yeah,
really like his voice. He has a really profound voice. And yeah, Shawn Mendes. Like these are the three artists I really love.
that's awesome. I would really love to collaborate with Josh Groban, actually.
Mm.
Josh Groban. There's an Irish singer by the name of John McDermott. I haven't seen much of him lately, but he's got a pretty good voice. And Sting, like one of Sting's songs I like is "Whenever I Say Your Name," what he did with Mary J. Blige. If you see the video, I love that song, and I'm a big Mary J. Blige fan because she did that really excellent song called "No Drama," and she took the part of the Young and the Restless theme and she put it in this one song. And oh yeah, you put Sting and Mary J. Blige together, and you get "Whenever I Say Your Name." And I've learned that song, and I'm like, I tried to post it out there and said, "Is there a Mary J. Blige type person out there that can sing with me?" And only a few could do it. Only a few, because she's got that unique voice. You've arrived if nobody can sing like you, and I think you have potential. And I think like you're gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna be like 10 years from now. I'm gonna see a LISARMONY album in our Rebel vinyl DVD place or whatever they use. Then I think. Um, and I'm going to be going, oh, Lisa Harmony, I gotta listen to this song featuring Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
So, tell us about your favorite performance.
Right now, it's when I sing to my family or my friends. I really like it. And oh yeah, once I was playing at the train station, they had a piano put there, and people were walking by, and so I sat down with my friends and I played like for 2 hours. And it was really great because people stopped by and they were like, "Oh, that's great, keep going." And I was happy to give some happiness to people in their day where it was really busy, and I was just singing some songs and some of them were enjoying it, and so that was really fun. Yeah, that was one of
Yeah,
my favorite.
you should find a YouTube channel called Guitaro 5000. He's a guy that just he plays on the guitar and he asks people to come and sing with him.
Oh yeah.
This guy's fantastic. Like it's incredible. Like I wish I could just like I've seen this. We have people singing and playing guitar and violin at our train station here, bus station, and sometimes I hear the songs that they're playing that I wish I could just go up and just sing with them.
Yeah.
But I don't really like. I should have more confidence. You have more confidence than me, I think.
I don't know. I was playing Say Something at this train station, and a guy came up and he started singing the harmonies with me, and that was really good because I wasn't expecting it, and so I was like, "Oh, I heard someone else sing too." And then we kept going, and we had this really cool song. I'm sorry we didn't film it. I hope we would have filmed it, but I have the memory, so that's really nice.
Like being a young age as you, I mean, there's no ageism in music because
Mm.
they're Broadway stars in their 80s and 90s right now, and Broadway stars who are like 7 and 8, like uh, Judy Garland started in 1937 and as Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. She was only 17, I think.
Mm.
And Shirley Temple started singing when she was 6 years old. So anything's possible. Dear Lisa Harmony, you're at the time where you have to retire now because, so that's a good thing that you don't need to do that. Um, yes. So can you describe maybe the worst performance you gave that where you're just sitting there and thinking, how does that go again? Or maybe you sang and then you couldn't sing.
Yeah. It was a few years ago. I was doing an audition to perform on a festival, and with my parents, we had a 12-hour car journey to get to the place. And something had happened in my life. It was a really happy moment, and so I couldn't concentrate on the piano. I couldn't concentrate on the lyrics, and so it was like these three judges and me in the room, and I couldn't play the piano, and I just couldn't. And so that was really. There were just three people, but I don't know. Somehow it made it worse because when you mess up in front of like thousands, Like you don't see their faces. They may all be like, "Oh my god, she messed up. She forgot her lyrics." But when they're through, you see their faces being like, "Oh wow, she made a 12-hour car journey and then she sat there and she can't even play the piano. Like, why?" So that was the worst
That's the
performance.
worst. Yeah. Um, like I said, that worst performance I gave was like I wanted to do those high notes, and all sounded like Screech from Saved by the Bell. But then I decided not to sing that day. So I get up and I'm in the kitchen. I'm singing, and I'm like, wow, those notes sounded good, because there's a song I wanted desperately to learn how to do, and I realized this is the day I have to do it because my voice is good. So I went and I just sang that song, and I did the high notes properly and everything. So you just got to find that time. It's not like I'm going to sing Air Supply, I'm going to sing the Shawn Mendes song, I'm going to sing Louis Capaldi, I'm going to sing Josh Groban's song today. But that may not be your day to sing those certain songs. But then you're not even just thinking, well, okay, you may sing Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, and then on Tuesday, you realize that your voice is perfect. I'm like, okay, well, I won't sing on Wednesday, I'll sing today. And then you just go for it, because not every day you're going to sound good. Not that you don't sound good, you sound great, but yeah, that's excellent. Is there any other musicians or anybody that you've actually trained to play the piano, guitar, or is it just something you want to avoid yourself and say, I can't teach you how to play, so you have to learn yourself? Or was there someone who said, can you teach me how to play the guitar, the piano? Have you ever had that?
Yeah, once my little brother wanted to play the piano, but it didn't last. And then I have friends who asked me questions about how to start the guitar and how to start the piano, but yeah, I've never taught anyone how to play.
I sing with a lot of people on an app, and I can sing with people from all around the world, and I only have to listen to the first bar before I realize this guy's a good singer, this girl's a good singer. Like as being a tennis player, you play the way that the person, your opponent, is playing. But when they play professionally, and you're standing there getting hit by the tennis ball, and you're like, I got to play better, and this guy's gonna, or this girl, whatever, is gonna show me how to play. So basically, if I ever got message or an email from Josh Groban's manager and said, would you like to perform with Josh Groban? I better do some serious practicing, you know? So tell us what greatest piece of advice you can give to an up and coming musician, or better yet, what's the best piece of advice another musician has given you? You can answer one or both. Or
So the advice I would give to someone who would want to start music is it has to come from the heart. If someone wants to write, it has to come from the heart and be true. It can't be played, it can't be faked. And to start an instrument, there's a long process of theory to learn. Then it's to be more free in the future and be able to really be free in the process of playing. So I guess patience and be true. I would say that to someone. And the advice that was given to me is I don't really know, but I think people want me to really protect my songs. That's an advice that's been given to me many times. Is if I want to publish them on social media and release them on platforms, is to have them protected, that they're not stolen. I want to say, and yeah, that's what I'm currently trying to do, so that they're protected, I can release them somewhere.
that's excellent. So if you ever look tired or bored during a performance or something, what is the one thing you would do to keep the audience occupied? Like, let's say you're playing or singing on a guitar and you're just like, or something. How would you deal with that? Like, what would you do if people saying, she's
I would take a pause and go and have a drink, like drink a bit of water and then come back. But it's never happened. But I think I would just go and have a little drink, or yeah, just have a pause.
Well, many of these singers and musicians that I've heard, many of them just they like walk off the stage, for instance, or I think like talking about Elvis Costello again, he did a performance in one of these music shows. He started singing his song Allison, which was a big hit of his, and he played it only 20 seconds, and he said stop, and then he started getting them to play a different song, and I'm like, what? So I'm like, what did you do that for? But he refused to continue the song, and he just basically with me, if I look bored and tired, I say, excuse me, I'll go to somebody, and basically, it sort of happened once, but not as often. So I really never think about it. Hopefully, that when I go out now, that we can go out and perform now, you can do real life performances. If it ever happens, I'll just stand there going, I gotta go for a second. But so you never in your life. So when you were 8 years old, you've never in your life did you have a music teacher? Did you have like a grade 8 music teacher or anything? Did they say never make it, or did they say, Lisa, you gotta go out there and sing?
Yeah, I had a piano teacher and a theory music teacher. And I used to, that's funny because I started in my small town school, and my piano and with my hands, I was so excited to play. So I was always really excited and my hands were playing and moving everywhere. And so my piano teacher was like, wow, you've got something. It's pretty great. You play really well. And he was really encouraging me, and he was really happy with what I was doing. And then I went to a biggest school in the city this time, and the piano teacher was like, "You've got to calm down with your hands. Like you can't play that excitedly all the time." And so yeah, I always stayed with my first impression and my first piano teacher, who was like, "Keep going and don't stop. Like it's great, you've got something." And I didn't stay with the second impression I had with my second teacher because that didn't bode well with me. I preferred the first one being like, "You've got something. Keep going." Yeah.
Was there a piece of advice that they gave you, and what lessons did you learn from them that you still use?
Yeah, I think I don't have one particular advice that stays with me, but I think I'm really happy I had them as teachers because thanks to them, I grew into a musician, and so I still keep some advices, yes, but I don't have one that comes to me immediately.
Well, eventually someone's going to come to you and say, I want to be a pianist or a guitar player, whatever. Is there any type of advice you give me? So you got to think of what the answer would be, because now that you're a musician and now you're on YouTube, and you never know, your future looks really bright. You're just suddenly going to blossom, and people are going to say, ladies and gentlemen, LISARMONY, and you're going to get crowds.
I'll be the one needing advice then.
Yeah. So, did you ever participate in any music competitions and win any prizes?
Yeah, I did a few, but then COVID hit, so I had to stop. But I won my first one, and it was amazing because then I had access to another competition. I could film a video for YouTube with professionals. And yeah, it was great because in all these music competition, I got to meet amazing people who were really good musicians as well, and so I learned a lot from all of these competitions, and also going on stage and the fear of going there. Like it was a learning process. All these competitions were really something that learned me a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Well, so what do your family members think of you doing this? And do you have any siblings or parents or any in your family who are also musicians and musically inclined, or is it just you?
I have an uncle who's doing music as well, but we never were really close. So I don't like music doesn't come from him. But yeah, my family members are really supportive of what I do, and I'm really grateful for that because I think it's important when you love music to have someone really be there for you and supportive.
Yeah, because I believe I got my voice was her inherited from my father, because I remember, like he said, if he didn't do what he was doing, he'd be an opera singer. And it's true because I was sitting at my computer in my bedroom once, and I heard this opera singer downstairs. I'm thinking that's not Caruso. That, but that's whoever it is. Very beautiful. And I go, who's singing down there, Dad? And he goes, oh, that's me. I'm like, what? And then I just ran downstairs, and I'm like, wow. And then ever since, and then I know that I think I'm the only one in my family that has I had a couple of my siblings watch me perform because I have a really good vocal coach, and we did a recital, and I sang Broken Vow by Josh Groban, and I had two of my siblings there, and they loved it, and my family loves it. But then recently, I guess a year ago, whatever, one of my sisters, I thought, okay, I'm the only one that could sing. She started singing a few bars, and I went, what? You can sing? She goes, no, I can't sing. I was like, wow. And it was such a epiphany. I'm thinking, why didn't I just go to everyone in my family and say, listen, sing a few bars? I never did that because I figured, okay, I was the only one. But when she opened up her mouth and she started singing, I'm like, uh, hello. But so, how would your friends? How would they describe you?
I think they would say that I'm nice and that I have my own music style, and that I always try to explore it to the maximum, and I try to play with my creativity. I think that's what they would say.
Creativity. I like that.
Creativity, sorry.
Creativity. I
My
love
French is
it.
getting
Yes, I love the accent. I love the accent. But yeah, and the French accent, like the pure French accent, and I'm like, whenever I sing a French tune, I know a couple of actually I forgot to tell you, I know a couple of German tunes that I can sing in German. Mount Everest song is Nessun Dorma because it's sort of like if you can sing Nessun Dorma, you know that song, Nessun Dorma, and be able to sing that, then you've reached the top of Mount Everest, and I can plop my flag on there and say, yes. What's your favorite song? Do you have one?
Oh, it would be Champagne Problem by Taylor Swift or All Too Well, the 10 minutes version.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. Um, Basically, yeah, her song Delicate. I have a new process now how I can sing a song and learn it instead of like for instance, Shape of You. I wanted to learn Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
And I sang that a lot, but it took me almost weeks to learn. And now I figured out a way to learn the song in 2 days. So now when I hear a song, I have to think of it phonetically. You read the lyrics. You try to find out where the dips and the crescendos are, and vibratos and librettos and all that. And then when you find it, you just sing it. Like, do you do a lot of mashups? Do you know
No.
what you can put together that you think would sound great as a mashup?
I have a mashup that's coming up on YouTube tomorrow, by the way.
Okay.
It's Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Welcome to New York by Taylor Swift. And Cyndi Lauper and Taylor Swift, and it goes really well together.
Okay. Okay. I don't know about mashups. I know there's a group called Volcanova. They actually do a lot of mashups. Um, so they take like these songs and they put them together. And I don't know how it works. Mashups work. I would figure that you could take like an Ed Sheeran song, Photograph, for instance, and then you find a song that's similar in melody and tune and put them together. I don't know. I'm not really into mashups, but I heard some pretty good ones, and I know musicians can. They're allowed. I don't know what it is now, but they're allowed to take 7 seconds of someone else's song and use it free. But if they do like 8 seconds or 9 seconds, they can get sued by the artist. So what they do is they loop it, so it sounds like and it's pretty good. But then when you got like people who one musician sues another because you stole our song, yeah,
Yeah.
song you wrote 20 years ago that you didn't you release and stuff like it. It's very hard to, but but like when I mentioned to you about how your friends would describe you, some bandmates would say that the singer is like always positive and encouraging, even on days when they don't play as well. Um, they're usually positive, encouraging. Like even with me, when I'm like dour one morning, I'm not a morning person. People say good morning, and I'm like, sometimes the same morning, but at 12:01, hey, good afternoon. Um, but sometimes you're tired traveling or feeling burnt or from many concerts. They're just so basically you got to be positive. You got to be excited, encouraging. You don't say that was a terrible song. Couldn't you have sung that better? I've never had that, but I've had a few people say, "Oh, you sang that song better 2 years ago, but you don't sound good now." I'm like, "Okay, thank you very much." But you have to take that. So, what do you think would be your next song that you would be posting?
I think it's gonna be "Hurtless" by Dean Lewis or "Falling" by Harry Styles, rewritten in French.
Rewritten in French? Are you actually translating it?
Yeah, well, not translating it exactly the same way because otherwise it wouldn't sound good. I did translate it, but I had to modify a little bit the meaning so that it sounded poetic. Otherwise, it wouldn't have sounded good.
Like you don't really need to edit your videos. Oh no, you do because you have the song.
Yeah, so yeah, it takes around 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. It depends on the song, if it's long, if it's simple, if I worked on it before filming it or not.
So when you see like a 3 or 4 minute song on your YouTube channel, that song probably took, you said, 3 hours to get right.
Yeah, between 2 and 3 hours, yeah.
And what do you do with the bits that you cut and on the floor, as they would say? Do you have like a blooper reel coming up pretty soon,
Oh no.
or
No.
do you just delete
I
it?
just delete it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't have much storage on my phone, and so I keep the storage for the real things.
You're playing the guitar and the string breaks, and it hits you in the nose. You're like, oh, and people would want to see that. Here I
Well,
was.
maybe okay.
Here I'm trying to sing this song by Taylor Swift called "Delicate," and while I was playing the guitar, and then they show a video of you going "Delicate," oh, another string, damn, oh, and then they see your finger turning off the film, stuff like that. Like you should see a lot of stuff that I have. So, if you were to go to a show, who would you want to open up for? Would it be Shawn Mendes or Taylor Swift? Can the answer can't be Taylor Swift or Sean. Did I say Taylor Swift? Taylor
Yeah.
Swift or Shawn Mendes? Who would you
Uh,
like to open up for?
I guess Dean Lewis or I really have no idea. Or maybe Callum Scott. Yeah, he's a really good singer
Callum
as well.
Scott is done. You Are the Reason. That has been fully. I even covered it with somebody, and it's actually a good song. I never really liked Callum Scott, but when I heard the song, I kind of rethought it. And like, okay, I like the song, so I started singing it myself. And I don't. Do you sing in the shower?
I do. When I'm in a house, so I can only bother my parents, my brother.
What was your when you were 8 years old? What was the artist that you were listening to back then?
I really liked there was an artist for children who was called Ilona in French. Well, it was really movie like songs that were really moving. It was really I was dancing to those songs all the time. So I was really listening to Ilona album.
What is your favorite song to perform?
I really like either Always Remember Us This Way by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, or You Are the Reason by Callum Scott. These two songs are my go-to.
Shallow, I like that song. It's been so overdone, but so many covers. But to tell you the truth, I actually like that song. So yeah, how do you feel that the internet has impacted the music business? Like, how do you feel? Has it, like, I know back in the '80s you had artists that were making millions because they were releasing 45s and singles of their songs, and but now just have the music. In the days of Napster, it was Sean Fanning's little little software program called Napster, and you could download movies and songs illegally. And before it was purchased, and Metallica was having a problem with that and taking Sean Fanning to court because we want to be you to pay for our songs. So Metallica, like you could be sued. The artist Sting just sold his entire catalog for 450 million to BMG Music. Can't remember the other artists, but they sold the whole catalog. Or
Yeah,
is
I
it just
think
the catalog that he has currently that he sold? That now the music business, you got the producers, directors, they all make more money than the actual talent themselves. I don't know what it's like right now, but how do you feel about the internet? Is it something that
yeah, I think it's a good way to share and bond with people around the world. Because when you sing in your bedroom and no one's here to listen, you can post it, and then it can reach to thousands, millions of people. And it also brought the music to be a bit more available. You can listen to any music you want on YouTube nowadays, and that's really good because I guess a lot of people discover music and discover their favorite artists through the internet. But maybe there's a downside that is illegal downloadings. The music is maybe not as special as it used to be because now it's so accessible. But yeah, there are two sides, and I guess there's beauty and bad in everything, and I guess it's the same with internet and music today.
so if you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
It's accessibility, maybe. How not many artists are given the opportunity to do music and perform. I guess I would change the fact that like more people would be able to perform. It'd be better.
What's an average day like for you? Like if you're planning, okay, it's Monday and you're planning on Tuesday, you're going to be playing the guitar, you're going to be playing the piano, you're going to be writing a song. What's your day like in that respect? I'm not talking about your day just like a regular everyday French girl just does. I meant a particular day of you recording, writing. What's that like?
So I usually wake up, then if I have a song to write, I get to the piano and I write whatever I wanted to write. Then around the end of the morning, I would go and record because I can't really sing when it's too early in the morning. My voice wants to wake up. And then I can record for about an hour or 2 hours. And then if I have a show, I want to say a show, but like if I have to sing somewhere, I will spend the afternoon rehearsing and maybe record a bit more at the end of the day, and then write if I'm like throughout evening until I go to sleep. That would be music day.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that would be particular. Like, I don't particularly have days when I sing. I just say, like I told you before, if I suddenly just start singing, I'm like, my voice is good, then I would just go and just go all out. But there's some days where I'm like trying to sing in falsetto, like I do a cover of a Bee Gees tune, and I'm like, no, no Bee Gees. And then, or I'd be in the kitchen singing Bee Gees tune and said, Bee Gees today. um, so what's your motto? What's your motto that you live by? First, I want to hear your motto as Lisa, and then your motto as LISARMONY, or is this the same motto?
Oh, okay. So I guess non-music would be never give up. Like just keep going for anything. And music would be the greatest respect an artist can give to music is to give it life. Because I feel like music is made to bring emotions in people and in ourselves. And so whenever we play something, we have to really shake things up, and really open up. And so that's how you bring music alive. And that's what I'm trying to do every time I play.
Bringing music to life. What's
Yeah.
that like for you? What's the feeling that you get?
Just like really passionate, and like really being opened and truthful to my emotions, and really know what I'm singing and feel it. Really, like, I don't know how to explain. It's really hard to explain feelings. Um, yeah, just feel good about what you're playing and feel the truth of what you're saying.
Have you ever gotten so emotional during a song that you just don't want to play for the rest of the day?
No, it makes me want to play more.
You know, like just to keep playing no matter how you feel. Like for instance, people like when you write a song, it's basically the lyrics have meaning. Isn't it personal experiences that you go through? You just decide, I think today I'll sing a romance. So I'm going to sing a romance song. Or is it like, I experienced this terrible day, this happened, that happened, I'm going to write about it. Is that how it works for you?
Yeah, it's more. I'm more inspired by personal things that happened or stuff that happened in my daily life. Then I don't go to the piano and be like, I will write a song about a romance. It always has to come from a personal feeling and something that happened, and that really, either happy or sad memory, but something that happened, or that happened to a friend, but it has to have happened. It's better.
What's your genre when you write a sad song, and what's your genre when you write a happy song, or is it the same genre?
It's usually folk pop ballads. I don't very vary. I stay in the same genre usually. I don't do rock and roll. I'm more in ballads and pop songs.
I don't know if you're familiar with Charlie Chaplin,
Yeah.
but I asked that because Charlie Chaplin is the one that wrote the song "Smile." If you just smile, and Michael, I don't know what that was. Michael Jackson did a version of that. It was really good. Did the one that Michael Jackson sing? Well, we can't know because he passed away like almost 15 years ago. But
Mm.
there will never ever be a version that Charlie Chaplin has ever like that song is just. And when you can write a sad song and makes people feel what you feel, that's a good song. Like
Yeah.
when you're mentioning that you want people to feel the emotion too. Sometimes if they don't, what about people who don't listen to your music or don't like your music? What's your attitude to that?
I've never met someone who told me openly they didn't like my music. I guess there are people who don't like my music, and that's all right. It just means that maybe we don't live the same experiences, we don't share the same things, and um, we all have things we like and things we don't like. And I don't like, if someone doesn't like my music, it means it's not for them, and that's all right. Maybe they prefer Michael Jackson, and we have very different styles with Michael Jackson. So I understand if someone prefers rock and roll music instead of ballads. It just means it doesn't resonate with them, and that's all right. They don't like it.
Well, Dee Snider of Twisted Sister, there's a song called "We're Not Gonna Take It." He did an acoustic version that he did for Cancer, where I believe it was Chris Angel had directed this video. Chris Angel, the magician, and Dee Snider was singing it. It's like it was too rocky for me in the past because it was like, have you ever heard this original song in the 80s and how rocky it was? Well, listen
No.
to that by Twisted Sister called "We're Not Going to Take It," and he does a video of it's just remarkable piano version, acoustic version, piano version for Cancer, and a rocky kind of heavy metal, pop, whatever song like "This I Promise You" by NSYNC doesn't make me cry, but a rocky heavy metal version of "We're Not Going to Take It," slimmed down to a piano acoustic version dealing with cancer. You know, they say F cancer. I don't want to say the word, but F cancer. We're not
Mhm.
going to take it. No, we're not going to take it. And he's standing there in the desert with the guy playing the piano, and he's singing this, and and then they show scenes of people shaving their head because they have cancer. Like, have you ever written a song that deals with like social issues? Like you have certain social issues that matter to you?
Yeah, I recently wrote a song about Alzheimer's,
Oh,
and it's a song that I can't play entirely because I always end up like not crying but feeling really emotional. So I sometimes I stop before I finish it because I guess everybody knows someone, or at least knows someone who knows someone that has the disease, and it's a really it's devastating disease, and it just inspired me a really touching
no
song.
problem. So we'll try to give you two more questions, and then we'll kind of end this because I know you're probably hungry or something.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. Um, so okay, what is this? Oh yeah, some of these I actually I asked. Okay, if you were to completely start over again from day one, what would you do differently?
Wow. um, Maybe I would upload more on YouTube. Like from day one, I wouldn't change anything because I feel like where I am today is because of everything that happened, and so I wouldn't change anything on the learning process. And learning the guitar by myself was really a really big learning journey. I think I would just upload more on YouTube from the beginning and just share more to have more memories of my evolution, and maybe have a better evolution, and grow more in my music sooner. But other than that, I don't think I would have changed anything else because I'm the artist I am today because of everything that happened, and yeah, I don't really want to change
Yeah, you just
anything.
get better. But the pandemic didn't have anything to do with you starting a YouTube channel because I know a few other musicians started a YouTube channel like Chris Mann and a few others have started a YouTube channel because of the pandemic because they're not allowed to perform in front of people. The social distancing, so we have to do it all online. Or were you doing this anyway, even prior to pandemic?
Yeah, I created my channel 2 years before the pandemic, and I was in high school at the time, and so I just didn't have much time to do everything. I had a lot of schoolwork and stuff, and I think I wasn't really mature enough to just upload like my creativity. I think it grew more last year. I was recording a song called "This Is Me" and all the Greatest Showman songs. I don't know if you've seen this film, but I was recording the piano from scratch and doing everything from the beginning with these songs, and that's when I realized that like creativity is endless. When you want to do something, you it's just your creativity, you explore it, and it doesn't have any. And I think I needed to be more mature to realize this.
The audience got a chance to get to know you and hear everything about you, and great. So everyone, just to make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and all her links will be in the bottom, and then you can watch her perform on her YouTube channel. It's excellent YouTube channel, LISARMONY. Um, so we'll ask you one more question, then we'll finish the stream. Um, if so, you're in a restaurant with your family, and somebody comes up to you, "Are you Elise Harmony?" "Yes." "Sing for us." And then they introduce you, they have you go to the stage. They give you the piano or the guitar, and they say, "Okay, use the guitar or do you want the piano? Which one, Lisa? Number one, which one would you choose? And number two, what's the song you would start off with?"
I would take the piano and I would play one of my songs called "You Make Me Feel," which you'll get to hear on my channel soon.
Yes, your own song.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear it. Yes, I always like it when someone writes a song and it's like they put their own emotion and their passion into it, and it becomes everybody's emotion, passion, because they hear the song and they just know wow, we know exactly what LISARMONY is going through by listening to the song. And then you have someone over there that doesn't like your music. But anyways, but this is excellent. Thank you very much for being with us on the podcast, LISARMONY. And people will be able to find you through the links and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And I think those are the only social networks you're on at the moment. But eventually you will explode to include Spotify, everyone. You'll see her songs on Spotify. Just whatever the song she's going to release. Oh, I can't wait to listen to it. Okay, everyone. So let's say goodbye.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome, Lisa. And I have to edit it and everything, but it'll be excellent. I really appreciate you coming onto our program, and I wish you success in the future. And I'll be following you, of course.
Thank you. I'll be following you too.